just a creepy movie. It definitely creeps you out for sure.
Somebody has to be perfect, so it might as well be me.
Talk about deja vu.
You live to tell the tale.
You gotta think like a werewolf.
It's the Slashers and Screamers podcast. Welcome back to the Slashers and Screamers podcast. As always, you can catch us on the socials, on Twitter at Slasher Sports, on TikTok at Slasher Sports, on Facebook and Instagram at Slasher Sports Media, and on YouTube as well. I hope you find us. I hope you love us. And if you do like the content that you're hearing, that you're reading, give us a like, subscribe, share it with your friends, share it with your grandma. She's going to love hearing us. She'll love little Ricky over here. And so, speaking of Ricky, let me go ahead and introduce my co-host. You know, knowing that we were doing a movie with subtitles, I thought Rick can't read while he's also trying to see things. Say hello to the Memphis Maniac Rick. Hello, Rick. Good evening to you.
Hello. It's been a while. Had COVID. Sucked. Don't wish it on anybody. But I feel a lot better. So
whoa,
that was like 2 weeks ago.
Cut that out. I mean, these people are not on your HIPAA form. That's PHI.
But yeah.
But it is pretty convenient that we're doing a movie about vampirism while you yourself had a case of some irreversible type of affliction. Actually, it's not irreversible at all. Welcome back, Rick. We're glad you're alive.
Yeah, but I think I got bit by a spider, so if I die soon, it was nice knowing you all.
Well, I wish I could say the same, but you've been pretty insufferable this whole time.
But I don't
Speaking
know
of
if it's a spider
insufferable,
bite, but it looks weird. Anyway, sorry, continue.
Well, hang on. Show me. Put it on camera. Let me see.
I can't. It's on my leg.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. Are legs considered nudity?
No, but I can't. It's
you wimp.
Just trust me.
I send you nudes all the time. Speaking of sending nudes all the time, she might look like an old maid holding pennies in her ass, but she's quite the wild child. She is Final Girl Casey. Hello, Casey.
You're not going to talk to me like that.
Well, why not?
Because I am a lady.
Okay, well, I'll edit it out at the very end.
No, you won't.
Yeah, maybe not. And you know what? You guys are going to notice that we are one moron light, as the Godfather of Droll James is not with us this week after bragging so much. I'm always there. I've never missed. That's just like him. That was not him in studio or anything. That was me. But yeah, he might pop in. He might not. I always err towards the might not and just be pleasantly surprised if it happens. So, James, this week we will miss you dearly. Not that you watched the movie anyway.
He might have.
He might have.
No, it's a foreign movie. He didn't watch it.
Yeah,
I changed my mind.
He watched the remake. He watched the American remake while waving the red, white, blue behind him on his wall.
The American remake that Rick and I confirmed pre-podcast, we've never seen.
Neither one of you seen it. And actually, it was the first one I saw between the two. Not because
Had you seen this one before now?
No, I had not seen this one. I don't want to say I avoided it, but maybe if I saw it's a Swedish flick, I'm just gonna be subtitles. I'm gonna be lazy. I just want to chill, watch a flick. I probably didn't pick this one. I don't go out of my way to see a lot of foreign films, which self-admittedly is probably not the best route because there's some fantastic ones, but I did not see this one
until now.
So
I've got a 3-hour foreign movie that's been on my list since like March, and I just haven't got off my ass to watch it because I know I'm gonna have to focus for 3 hours.
Well, you have to get on your ass to watch, because this is the laziest thing that we could possibly do is just
that's fair. It's Ride My Car, Rick. It was nominated for some stuff at the Oscars and performed really well at different festivals and stuff. And I would like to see it, but it's just really long.
3 hours?
3 hours for any movie is a really long time for me. I really don't have the attention span for that.
I've seen Lord of the Rings,
be an exception. So. Well, I mean, Lord of the Rings, yeah, but
But Pearl Harbor's 3 hours.
I've never seen that movie. But a musical could be an exception, not
Easy
inception. Well, a lot of times the old ones have an intermission as well, which is nice. Get you a little break, go refill your drink. You know?
Popcorn.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm down with
All
that.
that
I
shit.
like a good musical.
I love a good musical.
Oh,
We
well,
should
just
do
try to one up me.
a musical on here.
You know, I can see that. I mean, there's some to be done.
There are.
I mean, I can think of, Sweeney Todd. I can think of Repo. Genetic
I was
Opera.
thinking Repo. We could even do Rocky Horror. Ooh, I'm gonna pick Rocky Horror next October.
Well, just
Hold me
spoil
to
why
it.
don't you? So, speaking of things that we have seen lately, Rick, I saw your little tweet about having rewatched Halloween Kills and how it's still.
Did you like it
sucks
more
second.
this time? Oh no,
Yeah,
Rick,
he put in the same tweet how much he hated it.
the ultimate
honestly,
hater.
No, my opinion didn't really change.
Shocking.
But I did like the alternate ending, actually. So I'm glad that I watched it with the alternate ending included in there. Because it kind of makes sense, hopefully, where
Don't
the third one's
spoil
going to go. But I wouldn't be spoiling anything. But yeah, my opinion didn't change at all, really. I was like, this is still kind of shit. So, yeah.
I can't believe
I mean,
that. And like, I
They
always
tried,
question why people like completely hate things that I think are completely acceptable, and it just shows how different we are. And
Yeah.
I mean, I think a lot of times there are underlying reasons why somebody doesn't like something that has become popular, like those who just automatically hated The Walking Dead because it got too popular. I don't think it had anything to do with the show, because the show was pretty outstanding.
I think you're trying to start shit with Rick because
No.
Rick hates The Walking Dead.
Well, that's just one thing. I don't think he hates it. I think he's just not seen it. He's self-admittedly not seen it.
Rick, do you hate The
Well, I
Walking
mean,
Dead?
no, why would I hate something I've never seen?
Because you hate anytime anyone recommends you something you haven't seen. I feel like there are plenty of examples of things you hate that you haven't seen.
I might watch it on my own time and be like, hey, this is awesome. Or, I got to give it a chance. I gave Halloween Kills a chance in theater.
Twice.
And I was disappointed. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to watch it again on DVD like 6 months later.
You
Maybe
bought
it'll
the
be better.
DVD?
Nope. Yeah, because I want to see the alternate ending. Of course I did.
Probably wants it for collection as well.
Yeah, but if you don't like a movie, why would you buy it?
Because it's Halloween. So, I mean,
And it's part of a collection.
yeah.
I think that's silly.
To complete a collection?
If it's a movie you don't like,
Well,
I don't hate it.
One out of many that he probably does, though.
look, I own all the Scrub seasons except the last one because I don't like it. I'm fine with the set not being complete.
See, there's the disconnect. You are fine with the set not being complete. Many people are not. If I went all the way out to buy, sets that means I'm a collector. And like whether I like it or not, it's like, you know what, it sucked, but I need to complete the set, so I'm gonna go ahead and buy it and probably never watch it. I'm down with that line of thought. What I'm not down with is thinking that the movie absolutely sucked. And I want to get to the bottom of why you think it sucks, Rick. I need to know.
I don't think it absolutely sucks. It's just
you gave it a 3 out of 10.
Yeah, dude, because it's just the acting is all over the place. I don't really care for Anthony Michael Hall being in a horror role. First off, he
was in The Outer Limits.
Very good actor.
Yeah, he was in Breakfast Club.
But that's comedy.
That's horrific beyond horror.
I don't know, man. Just the acting was all over the place. There was some of the stuff they did in the movie kind of rubbed me the wrong way.
I bet I know one of the things.
Couple scenes really were like, why the fuck is that in there? Did you know you didn't have to put that in there? Like,
I bet I know what one of the scenes are.
I'm sure you do. Yeah. I mean,
I'm gonna take a wild guess, and I'm gonna tell you why I'm guessing this if I'm wrong or if I'm right. But the scene with the escaped guy that they thought was Michael but wasn't, and
okay, that does not look like Michael Myers. He's not bald. He's not short. He's not fat. So how the fuck do you think that's him?
Well, they don't know though. They don't know what he looks like.
But everyone's saying that's not him. That's not him. That's not him. That's him. And then,
but the mob is like the mob drowns out the few who are saying no.
No, but it's just like I don't see how you even thought that was him to begin with. Is my point. Like he's a lot more taller than that.
But they don't know that. Nobody knows
muscular.
That. They only know an escaped convict, and he is it. That's all they know.
Tommy should know that. He should know what he looks like. He saw him when he was a little kid.
This was 40 years prior.
Yeah, but I don't think he's a fat short dude.
I hope people think I looked. I hope people think I look right now like I did when I was 20. I really hope that, but they don't. And here's the thing, though. This is a commentary. You know this is a social commentary, don't you?
I mean, I recognize that, yeah.
You recognize
I get that, but it's...
And you also have to recognize that, and I'm not going to get deep into this at all, that on the political spectrum, that that type of mob mentality comes from a certain side, right? And and I can say this because it's the side that we belong to politically. Like, we come from a political side who constantly is looking for the next person to cancel and to pressure into things.
Yeah.
And it is a mob mentality that our side does this, and that's exactly what happened here. Like, the mob just wanted, no matter if they were right or wrong, they wanted an end to this prisoner, and at some point it was just about causing the destruction rather than being right. That's a reality that, you know, it's not so distant in the past, and, you know, our team is responsible for that, and that happened in the movie. So I asked because I wondered if that was a part you hated, because it's almost like looking in the mirror. Like, our team did that.
Well, yeah, and then there were some things that I thought were kind of just filler, and they could have, you know, why did you have to have this scene? It was stupid.
I could have done without
to the story.
What do you call it? What's the tagline? Evil dies tonight. I could have done without that being said 1,000 times.
And then the part when, you know, Officer Hawkins is like, oh, you know, I used to be in love with you, to Jamie Lee Curtis. I'm like, bro, really? Like, how does this has nothing to do with,
you got to have the romantic aspect.
I just thought it was kind of silly. But
actually,
I
do like when there is no romance in the movie.
I did like the throwback scenes. I did like how they did Loomis. I mean, that's pretty damn good makeup. I mean, it really does sound like him. So props to that idea. But I mean, yeah, man, I don't know. I just thought it was all over the place, and, you know, it wasn't for me. I don't hate it, but it's not one of my favorite Halloweens.
I thought you were gonna be like, what? You couldn't get Donald Pleasance? Fucking losers.
I mean, this isn't as bad as Rob Zombies. So don't. Yeah, I'm not. Rob Zombies are the worst. I mean, that's hands down, in my opinion. Whatever the ones he made, 1 and 2 are horrible.
Casey, are you also down on the Rob Zombie ones?
You know I am. We've talked about this many times.
And he's going to do the Monsters, and it's going to be terrible.
The who?
He's going to do the Monsters movie.
The Monsters.
Monsters.
Uncultured swine.
Yeah, it's going to be your stupid dumbass wife is going to be in it.
Whoa. We don't talk
She's
about
a terrible
Cheryl Moon
actress.
Zombie like that.
Okay.
I love her.
I'm so over
let
her.
it be heard. Let it be heard. I'm not over Rob Zombie. I just don't like his Halloweens. I enjoy his other movies.
That's fair. I had a really harsh opinion, and probably still do, on part 2 of his, until I heard some alternate theories, and so I went back and rewatched to kind of explore those theories, and I didn't hate it as much, but I still don't like it. It's still at the bottom of the totem pole for me. And that's down there with, like, the Busta Rhymes and Tyra Banks? Yeah, Tyra Banks one. Not a fan whatsoever.
H2O, though, second place for me.
Really?
Really?
Maybe third, but
Okay.
It's up there.
Well, 1 and 2 are, without a doubt, you know, the GOATs. But I love the new Halloween and Halloween Kills. Loved them both.
My top 2 were the original and the new Halloween.
That's hot.
I would say the original
And
Halloween.
then H2O.
Then 2, then the new Halloween. Everyone's going to hate me, and I know it gets a lot of shit, but I like Halloween 3 a lot as a standalone movie.
As a
It's
standalone
really-
movie, it's good.
Yeah.
As a Halloween,
so-
it's a little baffling.
And then 5 is the one I like. I don't really care for 4, honestly. But I don't really
So
like
you
the
didn't
old
like 4
Jamies.
or 5?
I don't dislike them. I just don't really care for 4. I like 5 better than I do 4.
I don't like it. I don't dislike it. I just dislike it.
I actually liked 4 and 5. I was scared as a kid watching them. But, you know, Rick, the reason I, you know, wanted to delve into your dislike for Halloween Kills is because we actually worked with someone, past tense with someone, fuck it, we work with them, who also makes those judgments based on his political beliefs. And I found this, I guess, association when he told me one day that he hated Jack Black. We were talking about movies, and I said, it's got.
Oh, you mean Human Broccoli? Is that what you mean?
I said, you hate Jack Black, and I don't know why. And we never finished the conversation. And then later on, I heard that Jack Black had made a statement about, you know, F this guy, and the guy that I'm talking about was a big supporter of that guy. And it just made sense. I said, so you dislike someone's work based on their political beliefs, and I can't really get down with that. So I just wondered, like, if there was the same type of situation going, you know, with the guy who was pressured to jumping off the building. But, you know, I digress. We're here to talk about a film that Casey just forced on us. She just forced it
Yep.
on us. We didn't want it. She forced it on us. And
This
we're
is
talking
the second or third foreign film that I've picked, I think.
What were the other two? Funny Games?
Well, we did the English Funny Games, but Raw was my pick.
Raw was your pick, and it was a good one.
So this is at least the second.
At the very least, yeah. I had a foreign one.
Yeah. Fucking, what's it called?
I was sitting there thinking brain damage.
Alex.
Yeah.
The skull fucking... What movie is that?
It's
Tension. High Tension.
High Tension. I knew it was something like that. Brain damage. What's wrong with me? Probably brain damage. But we're here to talk about a film that IndieWire.com has as number 2 as its all-time best vampire flick.
What's number 1?
I think Nosferatu was number 1 on their list. I don't have the list in front of me.
That's fair.
It is pretty fair. It's a very scary film, which has just celebrated its, I don't know, like 300th anniversary from being released not too long ago. I remember seeing that post on slashersports.com. But, vampires got hot on the big screen back around 2008, and this film was from 2008. If you'll remember, the first Twilight film in that franchise. Of course, there was some much better company with Thomas Alfredson's Swedish gothic romance here, which was a look at a 12-year-old boy and the vampire girl who befriends him. First of all, guys, where do you stand on Twilight? Casey, this seems like it's something that you would love.
Okay, I read the books. Well, I read a few of the books in high school. I didn't finish.
Wrote a couple of them myself.
Then I actually just watched the first 2 movies last fall, maybe. And I still have to watch the other 3.
Okay, I didn't ask you, have you
sister-in-law-
seen them? I want to know if you
I'm
love them
telling
like
you.
I think you do.
No. No. They're just silly.
It's like I don't know you at all.
Well, I don't get super into romance stuff, and a lot of Twilight is that.
Yeah, but you like glitter.
Okay, everybody likes glitter. Except, actually, no, they don't. My brother hates glitter. But glitter is a fun and delightful substance.
So, the books versus the movies. Fan of the books?
The movies are more entertaining. The books are more cringy.
I don't believe that whatsoever.
It's just the way it's written
It
because
can't
it's
be more
first
cringy
person
than those damn movies.
No, it's first person narration, so it's written in every thought she's thinking. It's very cringy.
Rick, what say you?
Just like about the general opinion of the movies, I guess.
Rick's never seen those movies.
No, I have. My wife read all the books. She likes the
Okay.
movies. I've watched them. I've watched them with her, but half the time I just ask all these questions. I'm like, who's that? Why is he doing that? Is this person a wolf? Is this person a vampire? Yeah.
Because you don't have any reading comprehension.
I mean, but, I haven't read the books, but the movies, I don't care for them, but teach their own, I guess. So.
Obviously. We don't know that.
I've never once seen a Twilight movie.
But I haven't seen them all the way through, though, honestly. So.
Yeah, you end up doing the hibbity-dibbity in the middle, don't you?
Well, they've all been on TV, so everything's all edited out. So.
Well, those wolves and vampires get you all hot and bothered. Rick's trying to go to downtown Pound Town. You nasty bastard.
If we're talking about downtown Pound Town vampire movies, it's got to be From Dusk Till Dawn, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, some would say The Lost Boys.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Some
We're gonna be with
say.
a vampire.
I mean, I'm just saying, vampires that you want to bone on screen. Not named Bela Lugosi, obviously, right? But well, this film's
Lost
kind
Boys is
of
up there for
anchored
sure.
by the chemistry of young actors. Actually, first of all, Rick, do you have a rundown for this, or did COVID take that ability away from you too?
No, it did not. It's pretty short because honestly, I'm, no offense and shout out to our Swedish listeners. If you're listening from Sweden, I don't know any of these people at all. So,
We might, goddamn.
but yeah, we did Let the Right One In. It's a 2008 Swedish romantic horror film directed by Thomas Alfredson. He's best known for this. He did another thriller film called Tinker, Tailor, Soldier, Spy, which I've never seen, but I heard is really good. This came out on January 26, 2008 in Sweden. I don't know when it came out in America. Budget was 29 million. Or sorry, I'm reading in Swedish kroner, excuse me. 4.5 million
Oh my lord.
U.S. and it grossed over 11 million in the box office. Oh, it's raining now. What the hell? Okay, it's raining. Cool. I mean, it's pretty much it. I mean, I really don't have a lot. It's 114 minutes. It's in Swedish. It was filmed in Stockholm and in Sweden. Anybody else know really actors or actresses? I kind of was in the dark in this one, honestly.
We all were. But those young actors that you're talking about are Kari Hedebrandt and Lena Leanderson. And this movie comes really close to kind of... I mean, this is something that I got from... I think this was from... Actually, I don't know where this is from. But it says, and I quote, "The movie comes this close to generating an erotic tension between its adolescent leads. Gross. I don't want to read that talking about actual children." Okay? It's a really interesting choice of words when we are talking about maybe, 13-ish? 12, as in the roles. But whatever. The truth is, in the book more explicitly, but in the film it's still implied that Ellie was originally a young boy who was castrated at the time he was turned into a vampire. The movie's synopsis and plot all kind of read that this is a girl who, I guess, befriends our young boy. You could kind of, make your guesses what she's trying to do there as she's trying to navigate life as a vampire. But, she asks why he would like her, or asks if he liked her, and if he would still like her if she wasn't a girl. So that kind of bounces around some ideas of what actual transgenderism is, because this isn't it, but it's still kind of pushed as such. And that works in a couple of ways. She's now being a vampire and, of course, losing her genitalia as a young one. It's only, again, implied in the movie, but in the book, very explicit about what happens when she's turned at 12 years old. Which I don't know if any of this adheres to the modern rules of transgenderism. I mean, we're not here to debate that, but it's a thought that I had. But androgynous is the common word I keep seeing used to describe Ellie, and I think I'm saying that wrong, but it's Ellie.
No, you're saying it right.
Ellie? Okay, yeah. It's just that with their pronunciation, and I listened for it multiple times in the film, there's a little bit more drawing out the E in the name, but I'm doing my best. I don't speak Swedish. I bet Rick speaks Swedish, though.
I do not. The only thing I know in Swedish is hi, and literally means like hello, and it's spelled H-A-I.
That's kind of cheating, though, Rick, isn't it? Because you're just saying...
I'm pretty sure I know a Swedish word, and I'm going to look it up and check.
I only know the chef from Chuck E. Cheese.
The Muppets.
Yeah. It's just a regular chef in Chuck E. Cheese. So the Muppets is a Swedish chef, isn't he?
Sure. Speaking of Sweden, true story, if pretty much all Swedes are bilingual in Finnish as well.
What do you call people from Finland?
Finnish?
Huh?
Finnish?
I'm trying. What do you call people from Finland?
Oh, God.
The word for end in Swedish is slut. Well, I think it's slut.
Slut.
But it's spelled slut.
I saw that in, it might have been a TikTok or maybe just like an old Instagram reel where it was like the end of a Swedish movie and just that pops up on screen, and I don't know why it made for without any context. Is really funny. I'm sorry, Sweden. We're not trying to make fun of your language.
Does the Swedish chef really speak Swedish? I've never dissected that. Or is it just made up?
It's gibberish.
I need to watch more Muppets apparently, because I never knew. Well, there's a snowy setting in this film that underscores the prevalent isolation that defines Oscar's life, and the mystery that kind of emerges from the discovery of this new girl, Ellie. She becomes an unexpected resource against some neighborhood bullies. Okay, this is kind of merging a Spielberg type of sense of childhood awe with coupled with a little bit of dread of a darker world just outside of what we're seeing. We see this cute little girl with her big old coffee mug eyes, her dark hair, the antithesis of Oskar, who is translucent white.
Relatably white.
Yeah, relatably to Casey, Final Girl Casey. What SPF do you think he's using?
If he's anything like me, we go for 100 and kind of don't go below 70.
SPF 200.
Okay. I just want to make sure we're on the same page.
He's really shy too. Kind of shy.
Yeah, well, he's being bullied pretty badly too, which I don't think helps.
And he's got some darkness on the inside of him though, and we're going to explore that a little bit. But there's the approach to the menacing forces that leave just enough to your imagination. One thing, if only one, that I can say about this movie is that it doesn't treat us like idiots. I mean, it doesn't overly explain the elementary foundation of vampirism as if it was, a new concept to us. It doesn't go out of its way to say, hey, vampires can't be in the sun, or vampires don't like garlic.
No silly tropes.
Exactly. And then I love that about this movie. Tomas Alvarezson, displays a really good ability to use these suggestive detail about what vampirism is. And I guess in contrast, between her crazy powers, which she obviously has, that, you see in some of the kills, versus this innocent face that she has. And, it maintains a level of very violent possibilities. Almost like, the dinosaur, the little raptor in Jurassic Park, Wayne Knight's, I think it was the Wayne Knight scene where he's, Newman, where he's face to face with this cute little raptor. And then all of a sudden it just turns into the most horrific little creature and then devours him. I think, I don't remember. It's been too long, but that's what this is. Ellie is that little raptor, and she's, just adorable until that stomach starts growling, Well,
I think and two, I'm sure we'll talk about this, but the setting, it's, cold and a bleak kind of, morose setting to the film too. So it kind of it gave me, and I haven't watched it in a while, but it gave me kind of a feeling of dread a lot,
Oh yeah. You see that,
what's going to happen type,
You see the filters and you're like, oh gosh, this is just the most bleak thing that could be on my screen right now. And, you're still kind of drawn in though, early on. There's not a time where I felt bored watching the movie, but I did not feel any kind of uptones watching the movie. I love it though. Some of the things that we talk about with those silly tropes, with vampirism is when Ellie tells Oskar, I'm 12, but I've been 12 for a long time. And they never really go into, oh, well, by the way, I'm immortal. I'll live forever as long as I feed on blood. They don't tell us that. They just imply it, and we just know. But there was a sorry, had to step away because I got 2 guinea pigs over here making the.
You have guinea pigs?
Yeah, I had to get 2 more.
Send pics.
Huh?
Pics.
Send pics. Yeah, we'll do.
Post them to the page. Let's meet our new friends. We celebrated Wicked's birthday on our social media.
Yeah,
let's meet your guinea pigs.
Couldn't celebrate Rick's cat Luna because he decides to keep that shit in secret.
It was the day before too.
Yeah, I forgot. My bad.
I'm sick of your shit, Rick. I really am.
I know all y'all's birthdays.
You know all of our birthdays?
I know your birthday. I know Rick's birthday. I think I know your kids' birthdays.
Oh my God.
That's creepy.
I just remember. No, I know it's creepy. I just remembered dates like that.
Well, she said she remembered it, Rick. She didn't say there's a shrine on her walls.
Let's hope not.
Maybe. She's probably got yours next to a dartboard. But, there is something about this film that, 2 years later, Matt Reeves decided, hey, you know what we need in this world? A remake of Let the Right One In. Why? 2 years later does this happen? Why so soon?
Yeah, they could have given it some time.
Well, it kind of gave
in between the two things.
Yeah, shit. Let a term of presidency go by or something. Just let the World Cup go by. Just things that happen, every 4 years. That's your marker. If you haven't seen
the Olympics.
Yeah, the Olympics. But keep them separate between summer and winter so you don't fuck up.
Yeah,
Tony Hawk hasn't been featured exclusively and extensively on your TV twice. Then it's not time to do a remake yet.
Is he in the Olympics?
I don't know. We should only just now be doing.
No, he's in the X Games.
Whatever, he was probably in those too. But
it wasn't. The skateboarding was an Olympic sport until last year.
Oh.
Rick knows because he started training for it last year.
Hey, I still want to learn how to skateboard so bad, y'all. For real,
you're gonna break a hip.
I don't care. I want to learn.
Well, that's gonna be because of age.
But no, I was gonna say normally remakes they give some time to make one. They're not 2 years later, let's remake it.
Well, in this remake, they did a couple of things differently. There was, first of all, we talked about the, I don't know if dichotomy is the right word, but we've got Oskar, who is very pale-skinned, white hair. I don't even want to say he's blonde-haired. He just has white hair. And then you've got the girl Ellie with, the dark features, still kind of pasty on the skin, but, dark eyes, dark hair, just a dark aura, I guess you could say. And then in the remake, you have the girl, who I don't remember the characters' names, but played by Chloe Grace Moretz. She has the blonde hair. The boy has the dark features, but the girl is still the vampire in this film.
I think it works better for the girl to be like dark and mysterious looking as a vampire. And I know that's like pretty traditional, but I just think it works better.
Well, there were some things that are a little bit noticeable if you really jump into it and look on the remake. The boy is not quite as innocent as Oskar in this one. He wants to do things. He has a fantasy of doing things. I mean, he's just, melancholy just to the core. But the boy in Let Me In, which is the remake in 2010, he's actually pretty violent. Like, he would act on these things.
Really?
Just a small difference in the two.
Yeah, that is different.
Yeah, I'm not saying that he went out and did things. I'm saying that he would do these things.
Right.
But, we're talking about, Oskar in the 2008 film. He keeps a scrapbook of, newspaper crime reports. And, he's got a knife in his hand pretending that this tree is, one of the bullies who's messing with him at school, and he's stabbing him up. But, if there's ever a time to turn a vampire into a baby face, it's when they're less violent, bully children as the heels. So if there's any way to, I guess, feel good about there being a vampire, it's when you've got school bullies. Because those are really the heels of society. What say you?
Heels is a wrestling term for villain, dear listeners.
Thank you, RuPaul's Drag Race.
That is how I know that.
I think Rick knows.
I do not really know. No,
guys,
sorry.
Can you guys hear these fucking guinea pigs in their cage?
No.
You can't?
I would like to.
Like, are you hard of hearing? Well, Casey, that's a terrible question for you. Rick, are you hard of hearing?
I mean, COVID might have taken away. I don't know.
I think it only took your smell and your taste. I don't think it takes your hearing.
I mean, my volume's like literally past 50%. I can't hear any guinea pigs at all.
Okay, whatever. But Oskar, he may well be a serial killer in the making. But he also wants, love from his estranged parents. I mean, he meets, I guess, what you could call an emotional counterpart in Ellie.
Definitely.
And first of all, let's talk about how great these two kids are. I don't see these as two child actors. These are two, very grown-up actors played by children.
Yeah, incredible performances on both sides.
And Ellie, she's, the mysterious girl who's always, I guess, exempt from school attendance. Cold doesn't bother her. Again, something that doesn't have to be explained. But Rick, let's talk about how you feel about Oskar and Ellie. Do you like their performances?
I mean, yeah, for kids that are, they were kids at the time, obviously, teenagers, but for them to play pretty serious roles, I think they both did a really good job. I know I wasn't that mature at 12 and 13.
You're not that mature right now at 30. But, these
True
two
story.
outsiders, they initially bond over a Rubik's Cube. And that's kind of the telltale sign that this is probably in the 80s.
Have you ever solved a Rubik's Cube? I still haven't yet. I'm still trying.
I had this in my notes to ask you guys.
Final Girl Swords can do a Rubik's Cube.
No shit.
Yeah.
Swords, we need video evidence. I've never done it.
I'll get him to send it to me, and I'll post it. We can post it on the Slasher Sports page.
Yeah, hey, listen, I'll speed that thing up and do condense it into a minute, and we'll watch and be amazed. I've not even solved those little
have it in
triangle
the next 8 to 10
games.
business days.
Have you guys ever beaten the little peg game on the table at Cracker Barrel? Not that peg game, Rick.
Only if I Google how to do it on the internet.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever beaten it.
Yeah, same.
I played the checkers, though. I played the big-ass checkers game.
Did you win?
The ones where you got to pick it up with both hands?
The one outside, whatever, by the rocking chairs. Yeah, I played that. But
you probably beat this old man with dementia out there just waiting for his final battle so he can go meet the Lord. And you get
his final battle being at Cracker Barrel.
Did y'all know those rocking chairs are zip tied and they have locks on them so no one can steal them?
The final bosses level Cracker Barrel checkers.
That's just crazy. Somebody would steal a rocking chair at Cracker Barrel. It just blows my mind.
People steal anything that's not nailed down.
Yeah. And Rick knows because he tried to take off with it and it jerked him back when he got too far.
Yeah, and I went 2 seconds to Sunday after that.
What does that mean?
Just an expression. Google it.
Damn, Rick, Billy, what does that mean?
I don't even know. I just nodded and smiled.
Y'all have never heard that?
Never.
Hold on, I'll Google it since Rick won't tell us. 2 seconds from Sunday? Is that what you said to me?
No, I said 2 seconds to Sunday.
Dear Lord, forgive me.
Yeah, because the other one is just,
Okay, I don't think this is a saying, because when I Google it, the only thing that comes up is 4 or 5 seconds by Rihanna, Kanye West, and Paul McCartney.
Well, that's what he meant. Rick, are you out here making up sayings on the show?
No, I meant
to
2
sound
ways
smart.
to Sunday. My bad.
Is it 12 ways to Sunday?
No, it means looking at something askew. It was a term in the mid-1800s.
I looked it up, and that is an expression.
The one that he said, or the one that I said?
Or you can say 6 ways
2 ways
from
to Sunday. I've never heard any of these things.
You never heard 6 ways from Sunday?
No.
You just said 2.
He
now
said
I'm
it's
mad.
also 6.
Now I'm just mad. Question: if you were
Y'all
turned
probably
into a
even
vampire,
say like if it's hot
God
outside,
damn it,
if
Rick.
it's like hotter than a whore in church. I'll probably never even heard that either.
I have heard that.
Okay, well,
but
thank
it's
you.
not one that I say.
I have been that.
What do you say, Casey? What do you say when it's super hot outside?
It's hot as fuck.
I say it's
I don't
hotter than who
use, like-
shit in the ditch.
Yeah, I don't say that exactly. But no, I'd probably just say it's hot as fuck. I'm not a big expression gal.
I'm a huge expression guy, and I'd never heard Rick's before. All right, I'm going to ask you guys one more time. And Rick, if you interrupt me, I'm going to punt you off a bridge like Jack Black on Anchorman.
Shit.
If you were turned into a vampire, at what age would you hope it would happen?
20.
Why?
I peaked in hotness when I was 21, so I would be frozen there.
20 years old for me.
Rick,
Same
what is
reasons,
your
Rick?
reason?
Yeah, because I could live out pretty much a lot of good years of my life and then be like, oh, cool, I'm a vampire now. Like, I could still be a kid.
You're an
Okay.
adult at 20. Billy, what would you do?
I'm thinking 32. I think 32 is where I peaked. I was at the height. Well, it wouldn't matter because as a vampire, I can just completely wreck people's shit. But felt like I was at the peak of my athleticism. I still felt like I was pretty smart at 32. I've only gotten dumber since then. But I feel like 32 was like the magic number. Like I was training in judo and Brazilian jiu-jitsu for, that's about when I stopped training. So it's obviously the height of my knowledge. But again, as a vampire, I don't need any of that because, I can just jump off buildings and just sink my teeth into people's necks.
Good to still have hobbies, though.
Yeah, it's good.
Even if you're a vampire.
Absolutely.
I enjoy that none of us knew each other at these ages.
That's also why I wanted to be frozen in time back then, where I wouldn't have to know that either one of you. But it's really interesting how experiences as a vampire will differ. Presumably your body remains in the form that it was when you were infected. And I guess it depends. Dracula aged in some of the versions. Other versions don't really specify. But if Ellie had been 12 for a long time, as she says, then she must have been 12 when she was bitten or infected. That makes me, think that you're now set to live the life of a 12-year-old for eternity. Eternity.
That kind of sucks.
It sucks so bad. Because what are we all really looking for in life? Just here to have a good time, consensually touch each other's private parts. And that's not cool at 12 at all. So, yeah, you're kind of damned for life. Why couldn't you wait until I was a mature human, physically and obviously up top as well, so I could at least make it believable? I don't know. Kind of sucks. I don't know why I thought about it that deeply when I was watching the film, but being a 12-year-old vampire would fucking suck.
Yeah, I wouldn't pick 12 as the age I would regress to.
No, not at all.
I think Kirsten Dunst was only 10 or 11 when she did an interview with a vampire as well. Just thinking another example of actually using a young person to portray a young vampire.
Was she 12 or so or whatever in the role as well? Like not just the actress, but the character?
No, I think the role she was older, I think.
But not much. Couldn't have been much.
I don't think. She was still a child vampire though, so I don't think it had been long, but she was older than who she was,
Yeah, yeah. Well, vampire lore, which has kind of held its ground in pop culture, even pre Bram Stoker, It kind of had an upswing at the time of this film's release. And I'm really glad that somebody had it in them to put something out that's a little darker than those goddamn Twilight films. Okay, I mean,
Such a hater.
I am, and I don't really have a reason. I just hate the fact that they turned this thing into a beauty contest. There's all this bleh. Like, I don't care about the new heartthrob actors and actresses. That's why I hate the superhero flicks now.
But Kristen Stewart is right there.
Wait, Billy, I'm just curious, what superhero flicks do you not like?
All of them.
Probably all of them. Yeah, I was
Really?
saying probably all of them.
So you're not like a Marvel person, DC person, nothing?
Do you really see that lifestyle for him?
Absolutely not. There's one that gets a pass, and it's the older Batmans.
The Adam West ones?
Well,
or like newer than that?
Newer than that. I'm talking Michael Keaton, Christian Bale, between those.
But you don't like Avengers or like Iron Man.
You're really not getting this, huh?
I know who they are. I do not like them.
Well, I thought I was the only one. Damn. Glad I'm not. Because I really don't give a shit about any of the Marvel movies whatsoever.
I think I'll start giving them a shot.
But I mean, I couldn't tell you anything about the first Iron Man. I think there's 3.
Billy, did you just say that because Rick said
No, I'm serious. I don't care for the Marvel movies.
Yeah, I'm not questioning you at all. I'm questioning Billy.
Now, DC, that's a different story.
Is it? What is the other story, Rick? They're all the same. There's just a different stamp on the movie box.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, I like Batman, so.
I like Men in Black tights. Shut up, Rick.
You probably like Men in Black 3.
What was wrong with Men in Black 3? Who was in Men in Black 3? Is that the one with Josh Brolin?
Will Smith wasn't even in it.
Was he not?
There wasn't one. I'm thinking of Men in Black International. Maybe Tommy Lee Jones wasn't in it.
There was one where Josh Brolin plays a young Tommy Lee Jones character.
I think it's the third one, I think.
Okay. Well, I saw it. Didn't love it. But no.
You liked Halloween Kills.
I do like Halloween. Well,
so much drama right now.
Well, yeah. Here's the thing. My problem with superhero films is the same problem that I have with the WB channel. Is it WB? The CW.
CW, yeah.
The casting is not for acting chops. It's for eye candy. There's not a single normal looking, and that's what made them superheroes. Their antithesis was, the alter ego was normal Joe and normal Jane. Okay, not super athletic guy that's already damn near a superhero himself, but no, a school nerd like a Peter Parker, or Batman is one of the few that's different. The Hulk, a scientist who probably couldn't fight his way out of a paper bag, turns into the Hulk, somebody that's completely unstoppable. That's the whole point. But when you get these not normal looking people and you cast them into alter ego of superhero roles, it just becomes like, well, it's just great things happening for already well-to-do people. I can't really relate to that. I related to the original Peter Parker. He's just a nerd who,
like the Tobey Maguire, like the comics.
Tobey Maguire, exactly.
I love Tobey Maguire Peter Parker. That's my favorite one as well.
And the original one that was like the shitty graphics and stuff. But yeah, that's my problem. I hate the casting, and that's why I can't get down with it.
Billy hates hot people. Spread the word.
I hate hot people because I hate hot actors because they get cast just because they're hot.
I mean, let's be honest. Did Miss Marvel really look like Brie Larson in the comics? I'm sure she didn't.
I don't know. I really don't know. Well, I can tell you no, because nobody looks like Brie Larson, Daddy. Nobody.
But no, I see your point. That's what I'm saying. Like,
sorry.
Did Scarlett Johansson really look like Black Widow? No. I mean...
Wait a minute. I thought she was a different character. She's 2 characters? Isn't she somebody in one of those Avengers or...
That's Black Widow.
Fantastic Four?
That's Black Widow.
No, she's not in Fantastic Four, but she is in the Avengers. She's Black
You're thinking
Widow.
Jessica Alba's in Fantastic Four.
Oh, shit, I am. My bad. Well, hey, Ben Affleck was Batman and Daredevil. That's some bullshit.
Daredevil was horrible.
It just makes me so mad. How'd we get onto this? Oh, because of Twilight, those fuckers. Well, Bob Pattinson's playing Batman now, and that's cool. Kristen Stewart's done a couple of things that I've actually liked. She was in some film that had a kaiju at the end. Can you guys think of what that movie is? One where she has like kind of short hair. She's like super hot.
I personally cannot.
Damn, I'm gonna have to find that one because it was actually pretty good.
I like her a lot.
So again, jumping back to why this remake was only made 2 years after the original, it makes me think of another film that we reviewed, Funny Games, a near shot-for-shot remake where Let Me In isn't really shot-for-shot, but not a lot of time between the original and the remake. Don't really dig that. Give it time to run because honestly, this film didn't need a remake. I mean, even though it's a full-blooded love story, it's coming-of-age love story, I guess. It's really moody, but sometimes just a gross horror tale. All right, it factors in some mythological elements. You got the scorching sunlight, the sleeping coffins, which in this case is a makeshift bathtub. Really bad body odor, which that could be any of us. And then there's the necessity of an invitation before a vampire may enter your home. Hence the title. I do wonder at what point vampire flicks abandon the wooden stake through the heart, but there are some other omissions from this. There's no fangs. I didn't see any fangs on the little girl. Did you?
I don't think so,
No.
but
No, and nobody's turning into bats either, so that's good.
No, there was just blood around her mouth at one point. It didn't show any like weird teeth situations.
Yeah, I think our
okay, but question though is,
boy.
and I'm probably I guess there's not any other way. Is a stake through the heart literally the only way you can kill a vampire?
No, there was the
like
sunlight. There was the cross. Like you could show them.
Okay, that's what I thought. I was like,
I remember seeing one Dracula movie, and I don't remember which one because there were probably a ton of them. There are more Dracula films than there are Amityville films, but I'm pretty sure the guy killed him by showing him a tire iron, like a 4-way tire iron, and he just melted into ash. And that was like the anticlimactic ending of the film that I watched. But yeah, there are more than one way. Now, I guess some things are repellents, and then others are like kill shots, like the stake through the heart.
Or
the garlic thing, I guess. Yeah,
I think that's more of a repellent. I don't know if there's something that. Well, what did they do in the Lost Boys? They put some holy water into water pistols.
Yep.
Thought that was kind of creative. We should really watch that one.
We really should. We could talk about the biggest sex appeal of any movie character of all time.
We should do Monster Squad too.
Monster Squad would be
Monster
great.
Squad has not aged well.
Oh, has it not?
They say the F slur like 1 million times in that movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I went to show it to an ex, I don't know, maybe 7 or 8 years ago. We sat down to watch it, and within the first 15 minutes, it was an obscene amount.
I remember,
and it was kind of as a little kid, I didn't know what this meant, so I just kind of glossed over it and didn't think about it.
Yeah, it was synonymous with idiot when you were growing up, and
no, this is before I knew what that word was even.
I forget there are 3 generations between them.
But in England, it has a totally different meaning.
Yeah, yeah,
totally different. So does fanny. You don't say fanny in England. Oh,
hey, don't say that. We've got British listeners. Fanny face over here. But this is a bona fide horror flick. Okay, no matter what you think about it, it is a bona fide horror flick with solely on the grounds of the violence that is routinely put onto Oskar by his classmates. There are a couple of scenes
and
there
the murder stuff. Yeah,
and then there's the murder stuff that comes later on when some of those bullies kind of get their comeuppance. And we don't want to talk about the final scene
next to the bridge or whatever.
Yeah, or under the bridge with
under the bridge. Yeah,
ridiculous. So I mean, yeah, this is a bona fide horror flick. But there's also some touches of dark humor, which you'll find at the beginning of the film with Ellie's feeding methods. Her, I guess, companion, the older guy, is he's kind of trying to help her collect some blood, and he's doing all the dirty work. He's spilling stuff left and right, can't get a kill right. There's a dog coming up, interrupting everything. He spills more of the blood on the snow than he collects in the little water jug. Maybe not funny, but still humorous. And then Ellie, she attempts to do the dirty work herself, but she's not any more resourceful than him. So I thought it was really interesting. We never get to see people struggle with their vampirism. It's like they just kind of turn and become perfect killing machines. But not here. There's some real flaws to the method, even as Ellie has been a vampire for a countless number of years now. So of course it's only going to be a matter of time before she's got to skip town again. And throughout this entire film, you have to think that maybe Oskar is, he's on the casting couch for this new accomplice because Ellie's lost her accomplice. So is she really?
I think she feels weird about it though.
You think that she's conflicted?
Yeah, I think there's definitely an internal struggle.
Yeah.
Like she needs him, but maybe she knows what's in store for him?
Yeah.
And she cares for him.
Of course. Very clearly.
I mean, if I was a shy, quiet dude always getting the shit beat out of me, I'd want somebody to have a friend that would stand up for me, but she turns out to, be a vampire. But at the same time, like, I can see why she's like, who else does this guy have? You know what I mean? Like, I'm on suck.
Well, one victim does escape from her, and that kind of puts things into motion, I guess, into outing Ellie. The victim that escaped, starts slowly turning into a vampire herself before meeting a very fiery death, which was one of my, if not my very favorites in the film. She asks,
me too.
She asked the guy to open the window or open the curtain. In comes the sun, and she just completely bursts into flames. There's no slow, I guess,
lights up,
slow burn. It's immediate.
I mean, like, that thing with the sunlight, is it like a slow burn or is it an immediate thing, or do we even know? Like, is it up for interpretation?
You can probably correct me on this. Everything I've seen has been kind of throughout the whole spectrum. I've seen, like, the curtains open. It's like, oh no, don't open those. I don't like to be in the sunlight. And it's, just moments where they're, okay, I'll close the curtains. And this time, there was no time to close the curtain. Like, she was in flames within seconds.
This guy lit up like a paper towel.
Yeah. And other times I've seen, like, oh, I can't be in the sunlight because I'll get burned. And it's not like they immediately go up in flames. They get out of sunlight and they're fine. You know what I mean?
Well, in Twilight, they sparkle.
Oh, I knew there were going to be a comparison or two down the road.
You brought up the Twilight movies.
I thought it was in the past. I was wrong.
Not done.
But, the scene in the tunnel might be my favorite, if it's not the spontaneous combustion.
The scene in the tunnel is icky.
Very icky. But you've also got the guy falling from the building, which was the companion, where his head or maybe his shoulder hits the structure and he bounces away from it. That was really, it wasn't graphic, but when I saw the thud, I definitely cringed. And then there was the kill that made me think of Rick. And I hope it's, Rick, I don't hope for your demise. Okay, let me be very clear. I do not hope. I hope you are well and good long after I'm gone. However, when you do meet your demise, I hope there is a whole gang of cats who just pile up on you and rip your jugular out. I think it's going to make a really good obituary. It'll be an interesting eulogy from someone. Hopefully the owner of the cats.
I'd rather it be cats than be like, in Slugs or the movie Ticks and go out that way. That would suck.
See, there's always a silver lining, Rick.
Yeah.
I figured Rick liked that scene, though.
Or eating the stuff and dying by eating the stuff. That would be horrible.
Oh. Sadly, Let the Right One In is probably going to be best known to American audience as maybe a casualty of Hollywood's obsessive need to remake films. And I'm not against remakes. I'm against remakes when the original was completely fine. If you want to update some things from an old film, great. Technology changes, lingo changes. It doesn't necessarily have to be like, the original Romeo and Juliet with, the Leo and Claire Danes one. Claire Danes? That doesn't sound right. Is that her name?
Claire Danes is right.
Okay.
No,
I like that movie.
Yeah.
So, but you see what I mean by how different they are.
Yeah.
Say that again?
Baz Luhrmann makes beautiful movies. The director.
Yeah, I've got I was trying to think of a bad example of one of his films, and no, I don't really have anything I've hated. But you see the differences between the original and that one. Very updated.
Sure.
I mean, it doesn't have to be that, but in order to remake a movie, there has to be some sort of progress in technology or in the world in general. What did the remake let me in? What purpose did it serve in updating Let the Right One In? Except for
You're the one who can speak on that because Rick and I didn't see it.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
I guess my question is more rhetorical.
Like, why 2 years later a remake?
Yeah, why 2 years
doesn't bring
later?
anything new to the table?
Nothing at all. The only thing that was updated was
when they
the
changed
language.
the title, which was weird, but
I think the title. Correct me again if I'm wrong. I don't know how to read. Was the title of the book "Let Me In," or was the title "Let the Right One In"?
I thought it was Let the Right One In.
Shit, well, there went my theory.
Let me see.
I thought it was one of those Willy
No, it's
Wonka
Let the Right
/
One
Charlie
In.
and the Chocolate Factory situations.
The book is Let the Right One In as well.
Damn it, that makes me so mad. But they do this to every halfway decent movie, as well as horror film in sight. Why they'd want to film it, of course. It's haunting, romantic, if you like that kind of shit. But, it's much deeper in, I guess, exploring of child psychology than, it might appear. But, I mean, I just don't think there's room for improvement. And I do think that they failed to improve
because you enjoyed this one so much? Or...
I enjoyed this one. There was nothing that could have been improved with the story. I guess if you had more explosions, maybe Bruce Willis come in, flick a cigarette or something. I don't know. No, there was nothing to improve in this film. And either way, the remake failed to improve it. As much as I love Chloe Grace Moretz. I love Chloe Grace Moretz. Absolutely love her. And it's one of those things where it's like not an eye candy thing. It's like I genuinely enjoy her work as an actress. She, by God, is the next Meryl Streep. I've said it once, I'll say it again.
You've said it several times.
She'll be in the remake of The Devil Wears Prada. Hopefully she's in the remake of The Devil Wears Nada also. But mainly, that's a real movie, I hope.
I'm not surprised by that, actually.
It is. It's not like a hardcore type of thing. It's one of those.
It's still silly.
Ones. Oh yeah, it's something you kind of tip your hat at when you see it on the TV, like the guide on your TV. It's like, okay, well done. Not gonna watch it till later, but thank you. But yeah, there's no room to improve this one.
We need to do Velocipaster.
Yeah, we could do Velocipaster or Thanksgilling. God. Okay, guys.
Or Sharknado.
I would love to do Sharknado. I mean, we can even do Sharknado as like a what do you call it? Like the entire saga. We don't have to do just one. We could talk about all 8 of them in one episode.
I have enough opinions per movie to create full episodes.
Well, by God, how? Okay, then let's stick to the original format. But hey, let's go ahead and get our final thoughts out before we talk about critic reviews. Pickle Rick, what did you think of Let the Right One In?
I mean, I've always liked it. Obviously, I haven't seen the U.S. version, so I can't really compare it based on what you've seen. But yeah, I think it's a great story about friendship and love and someone sticking up for somebody and growing up together and, kind of just life in general. I don't know how the last scene is in the remake, but in the original, it's kind of like a love story in a way, sort of, kind of.
Came to the rescue, didn't
you? Yeah, I haven't seen the U.S. one, so I don't know what the difference is, but
you've seen enough though. You've seen this one, and that's really all you need. Now, if you want to, hop over and watch the 2010 one, by all means do so and compare contrast. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised that the older holds up a whole lot better than the new one. So, Casey, your final thought.
I love this movie. I picked this movie. This might have been, Billy, when we first started the podcast a little over a year ago. Happy birthday, podcast.
Happy birthday.
We each made a list of 10 movies that we would be interested in doing. I think this movie was on that list. But this is one of my favorites. It is almost definitely my favorite vampire horror movie. I can't think of another one that I enjoy more than this one. But I think it's a beautiful, well-made movie that brings out actual emotion, which is not something I experience so often in a horror movie, like heartstring emotions. Obviously, I get scared, but I think this does a good job of being a very innocent and subtle romance movie without being a romance movie. I think it walks a fine line.
Yeah, it feels like it's a vampire flick with romance rather than like Twilight. It's a romance film with vampires and werewolves. Agree?
I agree.
Thank you so much. Do the critics agree with us and the consensus?
The critics really like this movie, guys. This is one of the highest that we've had. It's 98% fresh with critics. I know. And 90% with audience. So that's not a huge disparity. But clearly the critics like this movie. Again, not something we see so often in horror movies. We had a good review that said, "This film is peculiar in all the ways it should be, and it's one that is exquisitely imagined. By the time the credits roll, let the right one in really sinks its fangs in, and you are happy it did." And I actually don't have a bad review because like almost all of the reviews of this movie are fresh. And I didn't dig through like pages upon pages to find a bad one.
That's amazing.
Did you say 98 on Rotten Tomatoes?
98 from critics, yeah.
Oh, what's the overall score, like audience score?
The audience is 90, which is still great.
That's still, yeah, that's, wow.
Banana.
It's a really good movie. I love this movie. I'm glad people agree with me because sometimes you love a movie and people do not agree with you, you know?
Oh, yeah, I'm familiar. I am
yeah,
very
Billy's
familiar.
well aware.
Well, guys, guess we can go ahead and put a knife in this one of this episode of Slashers and Screamers. Again, if you're enjoying our content, and we really do hope you are, please give us a rating on your preferred podcast site or app. Make sure to follow our socials and be ready for next week's episode. You're going to find the trailer on TikTok and Instagram probably at the beginning of the week, maybe towards the middle. Try to give you a little bit of time to get this episode in and processed and complained about and shared. But for Final Girl Casey, for the Memphis Maniac Rick, he hate me, I am Billy Graves. This was the Slashers and Screamers podcast, and we will catch you in the gag.